A cotton hoodie from a luxury brand can cost more than a good winter coat. That should bother you a little. Because once the price moves past $800, $1,000, or even $1,500, the question changes. You are no longer asking, is this a nice piece of clothing? You are asking, where did the money actually go? Into the fabric? Into the stitching? Into the fit? Into a garment that will still look sharp after 5 years? Or into a logo that starts losing power the second the trend moves on? Into the fabric, into the stitching, into the fit, into a garment that will still look sharp after 5 years, or into a logo that starts losing power the second the trend moves on? That is the difference this video is about. We are looking at 5 luxury clothing brands I would be very careful with, and 5 that are actually worth considering. Not because they are perfect, not because any sweater needs to cost the same as a plane ticket, but because some brands put more of the price into the product, and some put more of it into the story around the product. Subscribe if you want fashion breakdowns based on fabric, construction, durability, and real value instead of brand hype. Because once you learn how to read the garment, the marketing gets a lot easier to ignore. The rule is simple. A luxury brand has to survive the logo test. If you removed the logo, the graphic, the celebrity campaign, and the store lighting, would the clothing still make sense at that price? Would the wool feel better? Would the cotton be heavier? Would the seams be cleaner? Would the jacket sit better on the body? Would the piece still be desirable after the season is over? 5 luxury clothing brands to never buy and 5 that are actually worth it. Number 5, Balenciaga. Balenciaga is one of the strongest examples of a brand where the idea can be more valuable than the garment. The name carries fashion authority. The shapes are oversized, distorted, sometimes intentionally awkward, and that is part of the appeal. Balenciaga does not sell quiet basics. It sells a point of view. The problem is what happens when that point of view gets attached to very ordinary clothing. A logo hoodie can move past $1,000. A printed t-shirt can cost several hundred. The price tag is doing more storytelling than the garment. That does not mean it has no value. Some tailoring and runway pieces are technically interesting as collectible fashion, but not as a practical investment. The takeaway is simple. Buy the pieces where the design is impossible to replace. Avoid paying luxury prices for basics that depend on the logo to feel special. Number 4, Off-White. Off-White built its value on visual language, quotation marks, diagonal stripes, and industrial belts. When a brand is built heavily on graphic identity, the clothing can age faster than the material. The cultural signal can expire before the fabric does. Many off-white pieces sit in the luxury price range while using familiar streetwear foundations. Cotton tees, jersey hoodies, sweatpants, denim, and sneakers. The design is the selling point. The construction is not usually the reason the item costs what it costs. You can find better knitwear and denim with more serious construction from specialist brands. Most of the time, the value here is just in the signal. Number 3, Palm Angels. Palm Angels has a very clear look, tracksuits, gothic lettering, and a luxury version of skate culture. The issue is that these are not rare garment types. If the main reason the piece feels expensive is the name across the chest, the math becomes uncomfortable. Palm Angels often works best as styling, not as value. The clothing has a recognizable attitude. It photographs well. It sits clearly in the luxury streetwear lane. Number 2, Amiri. Amiri has a strong identity. Los Angeles rock and roll luxury and distressed denim. It is very specific. Amiri jeans can cost over $1,000. The distressing and effects are the selling point, but is the final garment worth several times more than specialist denim? If you care about denim as denim, there are brands offering better fabric and construction for less. Amiri is usually selling a look more than a fabric story. Number 1, Dolce & Gabbana. Dolce & Gabbana is different from the other brands on this list because it is a traditional luxury house with real history, strong tailoring roots. The strongest items are often the ones connected to tailoring, evening wear, lace, structured silhouettes, and more complex design. The weakest value is usually in casual logo products and loud seasonal items. The better brands work differently. The money is easier to find in the garment itself, in the wool, the tailoring, and the way the piece falls. Choose the pieces that keep earning space in your closet after the trend cycle moves on. Smart luxury is about the fabric, not just the name. Before we move to the brands worth buying, the standard has to be clear. A luxury brand is not worth it because it is quiet. It is not worth it because rich people wear it. It is not worth it because the store has soft lighting and the salesperson brings the item out like it belongs in a museum. It is worth it only when the product gives you something hard to replace. That can mean better fabric, not just cotton or wool on the label, but better versions of those materials. Long staple cotton that feels smoother and lasts longer. Dense wool that holds shape instead of going limp. Cashmere with a softer hand, stronger fibers, and less pilling. Linen that wrinkles in a relaxed way instead of collapsing after one wash. It can mean better construction, a coat that hangs cleanly because the inner structure is built properly. A knit that feels substantial because the yarn is dense, not thin and airy. Trousers with cleaner seams, better pockets, and enough fabric inside to alter them later. A shirt where the collar, buttons, and stitching do not feel like the brand gave up after choosing the logo. It can mean better design restraint. This is the part shoppers often underestimate. A loud trend piece may feel exciting today, but it has to keep earning its place later. A simple coat in excellent wool can survive 10 winters. A well-cut pair of trousers can move through different trends. A clean cashmere sweater can work with almost everything you own. That is cost per wear. A sin $200 jacket worn 3 times costs $400 per wear. A $1,500 coat worn 150 times costs $10 per wear. The cheaper item at checkout can become the more expensive item in real life if it sits in the closet. Resale also matters, but it should not be the whole reason to buy. Some luxury clothing holds value because the brand is respected and the design stays wearable. But resale is unpredictable. Size, color, condition, trend timing, and platform fees all matter. A smarter rule is this: buy something that still makes sense even if you never resell it. That is why the next 5 brands are different from the first 5. They are still expensive. Some are extremely expensive. Thus, the better pieces make a stronger case after the label is removed. You can feel more of the money in the cloth. You can see more of it in the cut. And if you choose carefully, the garment does not need a giant logo to explain itself. Number 5, APC. It's not luxury in the loud runway sense, and that's why it belongs here. APC offers a cleaner route into premium clothing without theatrical branding, focusing on simple French wardrobe pieces. The prices sit far below the biggest luxury houses. You're paying for shape and fabric, not a massive logo across the chest. Their raw denim is a reference point, designed to break in with wear, offering better long-term value than pre-destroyed luxury jeans. The caveat: some pieces feel plain for the price, but for clothes that age well, it's often smarter than a loud entry-level item. The takeaway: quiet premium beats loud luxury. A clean coat you wear constantly is always the smarter buy. Number 4, Zegna. Zegna is a prime example where the fabric story truly matters. With deep roots in wool and tailoring, the brand's reputation is built on the cloth itself. Wool is where luxury shows up. A premium wool suit or coat drapes better, holds its shape, and looks sharper for years. Zegna excels in suits, outerwear, and refined staples. Construction and material quality are tangible here. A wool coat from a master tailoring house offers a clear reason for its price. The caveat: lifestyle products like sneakers or basics may rely more on the brand name than core expertise. Judgment is still required. But when Zegna sticks to its strengths, the value is clear. You're buying real material knowledge. It's not cheap, but the quality makes the price easy to understand. A lesson is not that expensive clothing is bad. The lesson is that expensive clothing has to prove itself. A $900 hoodie needs a stronger argument than a famous name. A $200 pair of jeans needs more than distressing and a celebrity photo. A $500 t-shirt should make you suspicious before it makes you impressed. Because the simplest test is still the best one: remove the logo. If the garment loses most of its appeal when the logo disappears, the brand was doing too much of the work. If the piece still makes sense because the fabric feels better, the cut is sharper, the construction is cleaner, and you can imagine wearing it for years, then the price has a stronger case. That is why brands like Balenciaga, Off-White, Palm Angels, Amiri, and Dolce & Gabbana need caution in the wrong categories. They can make desirable clothing. Some pieces are important, some pieces are beautifully designed. But the average shopper gets into trouble when they pay luxury prices for the easiest products to mark up. T-shirts, hoodies, sweatpants, logo denim, printed shirts, and seasonal pieces that need hype to stay valuable. And that is why brands like APC, Zegna, The Row, Brunello Cucinelli, and Loro Piana can be better buys when chosen carefully. The stronger pieces put more of the money into cloth, fit, tailoring, knit density, and long-term wear. They still charge for the name, but the product has a better chance of surviving without it. The smartest luxury buyer is not the person who refuses to spend money. It is the person who knows where spending money actually changes the garment. Spend on wool coats, tailoring, knitwear, leather, trousers, and pieces where construction matters. Be much more careful with cotton basics, logo sweatshirts, trend denim, and anything that looks expensive only because the brand told you it is. And before you buy, ask one question. Would I still want this if nobody knew what brand it was? If the answer is no, you may not be buying clothing. You may be renting status at full retail. Drop the luxury brand you think is most overpriced in the comments and tell me which expensive piece in your closet actually earned its price. Subscribe for more fashion breakdowns that follow the money, not the marketing.